All right, let's get into it. Let's go into yo guys, yo guys. It is Old Man G here, RDS here, back again for another new show. I just had to change a few things just quickly because, obviously, further breaking news about Cunha to Manchester United. Before we get into it, guys, remember if you're new to the channel to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter at WeUniteX and smash that notification button for latest Manchester United news and more. Um, Obviously, going to be talking about Garnacho as well, going, and Onana and Shaw and all these different players, that are going. There's a lot. So I'm not really reflecting. I was going to post individual videos, but I just thought it'd be just better for me to just do a live show to basically just discuss everything that's sort of come out from Manchester United right now. Link is in the description if you want to come on and join and have your say. That's fine as well. Otherwise, I will obviously go through. Big up everyone who's watching. Make sure you like the vid as well and subscribe. But yeah, big up Eddie as well. Good up Eddie's dropping a like, listen to Paving on the Cracks that this Glaze Shop is doing. Always start open. We're going to talk about that as well. Also, Eddie, if you're there, make sure that you look into your DMs because I want to do a season review sometime this week, and I would ideally want you and Rich and possibly maybe a few other United fans I'm going to DM to come on because I feel like we need a really big a crisis or talk about everything that's going on. And if I know big up says Cunha, Mbembo, and Dembele. So Delap, sorry. Yeah, possibly, and we'll talk a bit about that. So like I said, big up everyone who's watching. Big up. Make sure you like the video, subscribe. I think the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Cunha do, as you can see, Ben Jacobs, who is obviously a very live journalist. We did talk about it before. It was Sky. And Ben Jacobs, just about an hour ago, said exclusive. Matheus Cunha has agreed a 5-year contract with Man U FC. So it's a 5-year contract. The Man United winner approach this week. Cunha has a 62.5 million pool. So basically, he's gonna wear the number 10. Oh wow, that's new. I didn't think he'd be wearing the number 10. Okay, so he's gonna be the number 10. So I think this for me, and we're gonna go into it as well. But for me, I think this definitely confirms Garnacho's gone. I definitely think this means that Garnacho's gone. Because like I said, Amorim doesn't. If Garnacho goes, we're not playing with any wingers. Like I think people need to understand we don't have any wingers in Amorim's system, and we basically likes of Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho, Anthony. I think there's a reason why those players are being phased out, and it's not just because those players are not that great. It's because Amorim doesn't play with wingers, and so with someone Cunha, given he's a number 10, he's going to fit Amorim's system better. I was a big up RDS, good switch with Amorim. He's going to gut the squad. He is. I'm not going to lie. I'm still angry over what happened in that Europa League final. I had to take 1 or 2 days to really just calm down, basically, because I was very, very angry. However, we move and hopefully we can prove it. Weirdly, I don't know what it is, but 15th sounds better than 17th. It's still bad, but for some reason, 15th sounds better than 17th. That's all I'll say. Cunha is the new Harry Potter. That's interesting. Zaya says, sad day. Last time seeing Gyökeres. I know. He'll probably be going to Arsenal. But let's see. Mustafa says, 1 game a week might serve to get used to. I'm not sure about that. I used to think that, but you also got to think about the fact that the Premier League is more competitive now than it was, 5, maybe even 10 years ago. So, and there's no guarantee that top 5, like it was this season, equals UCL football because you don't know how good or bad the team. I would imagine it would still be because you've got 9 teams from the Premier League in Europe now. So there must be a good coefficient. But one has got to be a little bit careful because, just got the competition, I could already say off the bat, Liverpool, City, and Arsenal not going to finish outside the top 5 unless Pep has a massive disaster class again. And then you've got Chelsea on the come up, Newcastle on the come up. Obviously, Villa and other teams are going to be improved. So it's going to be tricky. Shia Lacey makes Asia tour for Wednesday. Fair enough. Also, speaking of which, I'm assuming they'll answer, but what about that new left back that we signed in January from Paraguay? I think he was Dion, if I recall. I've got to look up again. He'll be coming in. But yeah, so just to confirm again, news from Ben Jacobs, who's obviously sound, is that the Cunha deal is done. He's agreed a 5-year contract with Man UFC. Manchester United will now approach Wolves this week, and he obviously has the 60-minute will score. So he's going with number 10, and I think that's fair. Leon, yes, that's it. Yeah. Because I think a lot of people I was seeing a lot of people on Twitter, because there's rumors, and we'll talk about Shaw leaving the club. But people seem to have forgotten that we signed this Leon kid as a new left wing back character. So yeah, he should be there. Cunha's getting Rashford number 10. I mean, Rashford's going. I think it is sad that Rashford. I mean, because Aaron says Garnacho is still part of the team, and I think it is sad that Rashford is going in this way. But there's whatever you think about Rashford, he's done quite a lot for the club, and I don't like when we, just like what happened with De Gea. Rashford's been in the club for a long time. Manchester United, etc. He should. It should still be handled in a better way, in my personal opinion. So, but that's just me. But we'll get to it. We will get to it. So make sure you subscribe if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. So obviously, but let me know. In fact, I'm gonna start putting up polls because I want there to be some engagement here. So the first point I'm gonna say of the day is: do you think Cunha is a good signing for United? And we'll go into that in a second. Signing for United. Obviously, option yes, and then no, and then let me know. And if you guys have any poll suggestions as well, just put them in the chat as well. But yeah, that's the first thing. Because yeah, going number 10, I mean that is a statement in of itself. If I'm gonna, I mean, the only thing I guess I would say is that he plays with 2 number 10s behind the striker. So the 2 10s going to be Cunha and Bruno, with say someone like Mount as backup. I mean, I'll be honest, that doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence. It really doesn't. So we'll see. But if you're saying that the 10 options are Mount, Bruno, and Cunha, I don't know. He's good. Cunha. I mean, he's all okay, but we certainly need something a bit better up top to complement that, is what I would say. Let me just read your comments, and then we'll go on to some additional news. So I'm scrolling this here. Let's have a look here. I need a Voldemort in a world-class number 9. I mean, bro, I don't know who will be our number 10. All I know is that I cannot have a situation. United aren't in Europe, so we're not getting any info. It's crazy. And I just think it's just we can't, I already thought last season it was, when people talk about McTominay now, I already thought that it was crazy how we were going into the season with McTominay gone, and who contributed so many goals when he was allowed to go forward, so many goals for us last season. And you see how he's played for Napoli, the manner in which he's scoring the goals, clutch goals, was important. There's some additional breaking news as well coming in that I'll come to in a second, which might actually be relevant. So I'll bring that up in a second as well. Good old Fabrizio Romano. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Eddie says the Ineos football, Ineos better make sure this type of formation is club identity now. Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm personally, be honest, I'm not a philosophy merchant. You know, for me, the way I see football is you utilize the players that you have and you get it done. Just like Ange did. Ange's philosophy, Ange in the final did not play his Ange ball stuff. He didn't. He didn't play Ange ball. And then what happened? He got he got the job done. So for me, I'm always wary when I hear people say, I have a philosophy, I want you to get the players that's a philosophy, and they try it, and they're not given a time because it's a big club. Manchester United results now, and the player gets sacked, and here we are. You know, although in fairness to Ten Hag, I didn't really know what philosophy Ten Hag was trying to implement in the end, because after a while, it was like, so was Eriksen a part of philosophy? Like, what philosophy? 3 out of 12 million players to go, don't care who. Interesting. Hope Cunha has an anger management lessons. Well, we'll see what happens. Is Bruno leaving now? I mean, as far as I'm aware, we'll talk about that later, but as far as I'm aware, Bruno is staying. As far as I'm aware, Bruno is staying. I back Amon anything short of top 6 sack. There's a case for that. If we can't get Cunha and Buemo to that, it's good attack for us to compete. Myself, I'm excited. We got Sunderland away next year. RDS, would you take the money from Saudi for Bruno or keep him 1 year? I will take the money. Not because I think Bruno is great. It's just that it's a lot of money. You know, 120 mil for a 30-year-old. 100 million plus is Champions League money. I don't think people understand that. We're losing money because we're not in the Champions League, and you're going to sign a player who's 30 plus years old 120 million. You take that money for a 30-year-old. It doesn't matter. If any other player, if Saudi came to buy 30-year-old Modric, and they're saying, hey, we're going to give you 120 million, so long as the player's happy with it, Madrid aren't going to be like, yeah, no. Doesn't make sense. HH was doing McTominay revisionism constantly. Yeah, I know. I'm the only one that said I would regret selling McTominay because I didn't know where the goals were going to come from. Ten Hag was pressured to microwave his Ajax velocity low. Glazers will not allow it. Well, exactly. They won't. Because that takes time. If you want Amorim's philosophy to work, you're gonna need another 2 seasons. You know, and then the question is, you know, if you're now losing 10, you know, the reality is you can talk about philosophy 1. United have had 9 points, I think, since, well, it's more than that now because we won today. So 12 points since, I think, December. 12 points since December. That's not good enough. And because of that, where we are, like, you know, so if you're telling me the first 10 games you don't get that, then it's going to be a problem. So big up S&P. Hope you're doing well, buddy. But let me just bring in some quick breaking news. It's a minor, but let's just get this here. It's coming from Fabrizio Romano. It was like this. I should do which other presentations, but yeah. So just some news on Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton is staying. And that's interesting. We've not seen him, and maybe it's because he is more of a coach, but just some news from him saying Tom Heaton was not saying goodbye to Old Trafford today with Evans, Eriksen, and Lindelof, as he's expected to stay. Manchester United and Heaton in talks over new deal for +1 season. Manchester United decided to open talks. Now, you know, Kroenke discussion to follow Heaton to stay as third goalkeeper until June 2026. Now, I don't actually know. Like, I'll be honest, like, I don't know why. I've not seen Tom Heaton play for a while, but to be honest, he's still a good goalkeeper. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because if he was injured, but like, I'll be honest, I would have taken Tom Heaton in the final. I would have taken Tom Heaton at any point during the season. I'm sorry, I would have taken Tom Heaton over Onana and Bayinda. I'm sorry. Like, if the guy can keep, he should play. Okay, so we need to get a new goalkeeper. But if for whatever reason we can't get a new goalkeeper, can we at least just start Heaton? At least. Like, I'm not saying he's world class, but he's better than the other two. Like, he just is. You know, even he is. Big up SK, big up SK. Congratulations on obviously Chelsea's where Chelsea are. Congratulations. But you know, Low Heaton would have started, bro. I mean, bro, you think I'm laughing? I would have started Evans over Shaw. I would have started Evans over Shaw. When Evans had played for us when he was fit this season, Evans was okay. Evans was okay. Like Evans when before he got injured was actually okay for us. I would have much Shaw. Every performance that I've seen Shaw this season when he came up was garbage. I would have started Evans over Shaw or even Lindelof over Shaw over them in the final, no doubt. And over Onana, yes. Heaton over Onana, yes. Yes. I would have started. Big up, bro. Shake says, bro, do you know where Tom's been? Any content? Because I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm not. I've tried messaging Ning for a while, but I've not heard from him, man. I've not, and I don't know because I tried to sort of see because he's on some other channels and stuff like that, but I've not been. The only contact I really have was via Twitter, and he's not on there now. It could be that he's just off Twitter now. Because let's be frank, Elon has made it trash. But yeah, if I'm honest, I've not heard from him in a while. But I'm not. So I just hope that he's well and he's fine. If Tom, if you're listening to this, we miss you. Hope you can come back soon. Or it could just be that he's just been busy with work because off the chat, I know he was busy doing a lot of work-related stuff. So it could also be that as well. So, but best wishes with him. And not Evans, but the Ipswich game away, he got sent into retirement by Hutchinson. I mean, yeah, but still, Shaw was bad. In terms of what I see, collective performances that I've seen Shaw bringing back, he's been bad. Yeah, I deemed him too. Yeah. I don't know, but I hope he's well. This club is making us choose between different levels of squad. Bro, what I'm saying right now, I think that I just think that we save a lot of points if Heaton's in goal. It's as simple as that, really. But I think he's probably doing as a goalkeeping coach. But we need to get better. But my just thing is just that if we're not going to get a goalkeeper, then what are you going to do? What are we going to do here? So yeah, that would be my 2 cents on that. So, but yeah, Heaton staying. I think he was expected to leave, but he is staying. But yeah, he is staying, and obviously Fabrizio also updating and saying that about the Cunha 62.5. I mean, 62.5 million is a lot. 62.5 million is a lot for a player, especially considering we're constantly told that we have 100 million as a transfer fee. So 62. I mean, I don't know. Maybe United have got a lot of money coming from elsewhere, but if you're spending 62.5 million on Cunha, how much more money do United have to spend? Delap, obviously, he'll be, I think, 30 million to the trigger. If you bring him in, you're already on 90 million spent on June the 1st. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I mean, I don't know. Let me know in your chat, guys. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What I will do is, yeah. So let me give it an update regarding obviously Garnacho, because obviously there's been a lot of talk about Garnacho going and stuff like that. So I think we'll just briefly touch on the Garnacho debate. And I usually prefer quoting from Fabrizio or Ben Jacobs or whatever. Now the title does say Garnacho gone, and obviously there were a lot of people that saying that Garnacho was going to leave, and could still leave. And in fact, another poll question. Let me see. Let's see, because I like to review these polls. So looking at these polls right now, 16 votes. Do you think Cunha's signing? 100% says yes, so that's fine. Right, now here's the second question, guys. Should Garnacho stay or go? Now that's the question. So I'll put that in there. So I look like I've maybe lost my head. So I'll put that there. Okay, should Garnacho stay or go? So that's in the poll now. So Ruben said Alejandro Garnacho continues to be a Manchester United player, not in the squad today, but still an United player. He will fly with us for the postseason tour. We need to be all there. We have to give something back to our fans. Now, for me, that is a way of saying, yes, Garnacho is a Manchester United player. However, if a good bid comes in for him, he's gone. That's basically what he's saying. Usually a manager, if they want to say, will say, like, for example, with Bruno, he was like, expect Bruno to stay, blah, blah, blah. With Garnacho, he said he's still a United player. Okay? So not, I want him to stay with us, or I need him, or blah, blah, blah. It's just, he's still a Manchester United player, full stop. That's it. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. As far as we're concerned, he'll obviously go on the tour, but I just think that this means, because obviously he left him out of the squad today, obviously presumably not happy with his comments. Amorim rumored behind the scenes has said that, listen, you're not part of my plans, him and Onana, and we'll come to that in a second about with Onana, because I think that's a debate of itself. But for me, like I said, this is more of a listen, yo, thanks. Listen, if an offer comes in, and I suspect United will want an offer of, I don't know how much Garnacho will go for. I would think that United probably want 60 million. And I think that is Garnacho in this market of 60 million? I'd say he's probably worth between 50 to 60 million. Yeah, I think 60 million is fine, because, you've got a young player who's not, Garnacho's only in his early 20s. He's only in his 20s. People need to forget that. So the potential for Garnacho is, so 60 million is actually pretty good for a player that can still improve, Let's see. Let's see some comments before I keep on going. Sheik says Heaven should have played in the final whenever he starts. Yeah, Heaven is a good. So we're talking. This is why I think defenders wise, centre back wise, we're good. Lindelof Evans going is fine. You've got Euro who's good. You've got Heaven in there. Maguire has earned at least to sort of stay around as backup. So I think from the centre backs, I think we're good. We're obviously De Ligt, so we're fine. I don't think there's an issue there. And like I said, I'd even get rid of Shaw, quite frankly. We need 2 new keepers. Mine are Lunan and Sheffield. I would love to get Lunan. Hope you got Lunan and Sheffield money, says Ryan. Yeah, I would love to get Lunan. I would love to get Lunan and Sheffield. I would. But whether we have that money or not, I don't know. And then you have to move on because we spent money on getting both of them. How do you move them on? How do you sell them? I don't know how you do that. He needs to generate funds. And as Zaya said, yeah, he needs to generate funds. Garnacho, Rashford, and Mainu can help with the rebuild. Yeah. I don't like, I'll be honest, as someone who, likes the whole Manchester United Academy players, Academy thing, I don't like that. I want United to keep and play our Academy players. It's a part of Manchester United tradition. And for me, Mainu for me, I don't want Mainu sold. Like I would, and we need to keep a hold of Mainu. Especially with what he did in this season, we're coming clutching a few times. I don't make Mainly can be adaptable. For me, Garnacho, Rashford is fine because Rashford is old, Amazon play wingers. But Garnacho, Garnacho, I understand, but Menu, I mean, come on, man. We should be personally for me, if you're talking about generating funds, we should be getting rid of we should be thinking about our midfield. I don't know whether Casemiro and Ugarte are the type of midfield that Ruben wants or needs. We certainly can't Casemiro. And then obviously, you already got, and we'll get to it. Eriksen, Evans, and Lindelof are all leaving, so that's obviously going to set funds off. So there's that as well. Big up Brandon who says hi, man. So there's there. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, looking at the chat, it's 50-50 right now. Although now it's it's still 50-50. Oh, a bit going to. I'm not sure who's ahead. But yeah, make sure you vote in the poll. But yeah, so far I think it's mostly just Garnacho first, and then it stays. Make sure you like the video, and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. Now that the season's gone and I've got a bit more free time, I'll be trying to do a few more of these transfer shows. Probably around about this time as well. I think if I have my way, I'll stick to these sort of 10 o'clock shows as to when I'll be doing most of my transfer talks. I'll be busy during the day, blah, 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 blah. So 10 o'clock actually works for me quite well. Possibly doing some morning shows as well, but at least, the 10 o'clock is going to be the thing. So yeah, but yeah, please subscribe, please follow, please support the channel. Really, really appreciate it. Let's read some comments. Brandon says, I hate to say this on the Wolves, down the Wolves, man. I'm not a Manchester United fan. I'm a Wolves fan. Well, big up Wolves. Well, at the end of the day, as a Wolves fan, let us know your thoughts on Cunha to Manchester United. Are you happy with that? Do you think the money is enough? Where do you see Wolves going from here? Let us know. Onana did improve from his first at United, but definitely has to go or drop for someone better. Will those friendlies be aired? Anyone? I'm not sure. I suspect they were on Manchester United TV. We might be doing some watch longs. I think I'll do some watch longs to them. We'll see. But yeah, it's sad that it has to end this way. With Garnacho, obviously. And like I said, I think that this definitely seems to be the statement from Amorim is definitely we're waiting for an offer. Now the question is, who's going to make the offer? So I think the rumors would be that I'm a Wolves. I'm always a Wolves fan. I'm not a Manchester United. Don't be sorry. Big up Wolves. Big up Wolves, man. So yeah, I think the rumors would be. My guess would be if we're talking about the clubs that are going to probably go for Garnacho, it would be the rumors are from Italy, so some teams like Napoli, etc. Whether Napoli would pay 60 million, I don't know, but obviously they're going to be probably selling some players. I think that with Conte gone, there's rumors that Conte is leaving. It looks like he's leaving. Conte always does this, man. He wins a trophy and then leaves. This is his thing, man. So Napoli are going to flop next year because the next manager is probably not going to want Lukaku or McTominay. I genuinely don't understand it. This is why when people say we should have Conte, I'll go, no, because he's the definition of a short-term manager. He basically says, buy me all these players, and then goes on and wins a league, and then leaves. And then the other manager has to deal with that stuff, so it's not ideal. RDS SNB says, RDS, don't you think it's a good idea to essentially liquidate the squad? Because I've heard of newly promoted teams who change the complete squad 1-2 once they get started. I don't think you. I mean that is a question. When we talk about liquidating the squad, we will in the season review when I get a few people. We'll probably do a lot of who should be sold, who should go, etc. as a players thing that I used to do. And so I think we'll probably end up doing that. And we'll go into depth as to who I think should stay or who should go, who should be sold. But, you know, there's a case that there are only a handful of players that I would keep. I'll tell you mine right out now. Ahmad, Mainu, Yoro, Heaven. I would actually keep Maguire, funnily enough. That's it, really. Like, that's it. If I'm talking about guns to the head, those are the thing. That's all I would keep. That's all I would keep. I'll be honest. That's all I would keep. Brian says, I've got Muslim, so I've also lost my grandma to Tati music. I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. It says something about also grandma, but anyway, if that's the case, sorry to hear that, buddy. And thoughts and prayers of you and your family, buddy. Get better soon, man. And how much money can you get from this squad? You can get, I mean, what if the Bruno 100 things real? You've already got 120 for Bruno from that. I think you can sell Garnacho for close to 60. I think you can hold out for that. So that's what, 180. Then you can sell Rashford for at least 40 million. So you're already on 220 mil. Probably you can get maybe 40 or 50 mil for Rashford, probably. You can get Sancho. You can sell Sancho probably 20 mil from some, maybe to Dortmund or some team. So you can go to 20. So already on 250 mil right now. So that's already if we take the Bruno offer. If we don't, you know, so then that's probably about 100 mil from those players' sales. And then I would say that you could even throw in Casemiro into that as well. Shaw into that. For me, Shaw, again, you could get Shaw out for maybe 15 million. Casemiro for quite a bit for Saudi potentially if he goes. Yeah, there's definitely at least, especially because Rashford, Sancho, and even Anthony. We're getting rid of Anthony apparently. So you get Anthony for me. For me, you've got to at least sell him for at least. I would not accept a $20 million for Anthony. Anthony should, you know, with the way that the best thing about Anthony is that everyone saw what he's done for Betis right now, and if he scores clutch for Betis, we should be able to haggle for Anthony. I'm not saying you're going to sell 70, but at least like 50 mil. Like what Anthony's doing, he shouldn't be sold for any less than 50 mil. So, because of course we're not going to have wingers, you know. So for me, Anthony, you know, if you're selling Anthony, Rashford, Sancho, and Garnacho, all four of them somehow, you know, i.e. you're getting rid of your wingers. So we're not using wingers anymore, which is interesting. If you're getting rid of all those guys, that should at least, all four of those players combined should be able to generate at least 150 mil, maybe more. And that doesn't include Bruno or Shaw or Casemiro or all the wages you're saving by letting Eriksen, Lindelof, and Johnny Evans go. So there you go. Let's look at some questions. Let's see. Because your most valuable assets are guys like many Amador and players of the ilk, I think Bruno, Casemiro, Eriksen, Saudi you can get exactly. Well, Eriksen was not renewed contract. He's gone for free. But yeah. And also, you know, the academy players that are coming through, you know, Conan, if you're a people, I don't know. So at least some of those guys have got to start What I would definitely want to see is I want to see a lot more young players going out on loan. And actually kind of like, you know, going out on loan like Ahmad did to Rangers and Sunderland, getting experience and bumping up their price tag. You know, we shouldn't be we buy these players like Cheeto, things, etc., and then just say, like, I never get it where United's mentality is we buy them, stick them in the under-21s, and then maybe give them a cameo here or there, and that's it. And then they go back to playing for the under-21s again. Just send them out on loan if they're not going to be getting regular game time, and the players should force that. Heaven Dog, Amador, Bruno, everyone else should look to see how we build. Has to be with us. I would still, Zaya, I would. The only replacement is I would keep Manu and I would sell Bruno. I'm sorry. If Saudi is saying we're giving you 120 million, Bruno is not worth 120 million as a 30-year-old. If we're going to get that amount of cash, which is basically Champions League money, for me he goes. And this is not because I have any issue with him, you know. I totally forgot, guys. Like, yeah. They're seriously running the club to the ground. They are. RDS, what about pension fees that go to clubs who have been sold? A portion of money will go towards about pensions that go to clubs. So, yeah, I see we have quite a few of the we have a few of that left. Sorry, 1 second, guys. But you know, people do have money that we owe to them, like Inter, possibly in Chelsea. But people also owe on us money as well, like Inter, for example. So there is that. So yeah, so Garnacho is probably, yeah, we're waiting for an offer, and I suspect something will come in from Naples, you know, at some point, and we'll see what happens. Speaking of which, I mean, Jack Grealish, bags. Jack Grealish is going. Will people take Grealish at United? Would people take Grealish at United? Because I know I would. Let's quickly also touch on another person that could be leaving just briefly. And obviously Fabrizio also covered this. Mr. Ooh. Do it like that. I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Mega says no. No, I wouldn't say Grealish wages. Pep, he did ruin Grealish, man. He did. He did. There needs to be some conversations for that. It's interesting how a lot of people always say United ruin players, United they're bad, etc., etc. But it just goes to show you that winning trophies are winning things, trophies over the craps of players. You know, when you look at Grealish and when you look at what's the other guy, that DM that left, who came from Leeds? I've forgotten his name again. Someone mind in the chat. And a few other players, even Haaland, potentially as a striker, you know, at least recently anyway. No one talks about that. Like literally, no one. Man City spent £100 million on this player. They spent 60 million on the guy that he bought from Leeds. I've forgotten his name. And I'm sure there are others. Yeah, Calvin Phillips. You know, and Pep ruined them. Pep ruined them. You know, so it's just I'm just saying that it's very easy for people to talk about. You know, even players like Alvarez and different things, etc. You know, these players that have also gone on to do well. So, so I'm just saying, you know, it's not just a United thing. Just putting that out there. But yeah, obviously, Onana being one who is possibly going to be going. You know, there are rumors, reports that he's unhappy that, you know, he's not going to get European or Champions League football. His wages are going to be cut. There is an element of that. And, you know, Saudi is obviously looking, you know, quite good for a lot of these guys, you know. So there is that element as well. If, you know, how much will Saudi offer? You know, so we could get something for Onana. Obviously, it will be, I think we paid, how much we paid for Onana? Was it 40 mil? I think it was 40 mil. So I don't know if we could get that. I think if he goes to Saudi, we could get that. But I think outside of that, I don't know. Because I don't really know that there are clubs knocking on the door for him. Maybe potentially clubs in Italy, potentially. I don't know. That could also potentially be an option. You know, I'm not sure. But Onana, it's been clear, obvious that Onana, 45 million, says Mega. Yeah, exactly. I don't think we can get that. Maybe Saudi can give us 40 million. But that's as far as it goes. But yeah, I think that oh sorry, I just changed that. It should be Onana gone. But yeah, I think that yeah. And also big up to you, man, Brandon. Appreciate it. Hopefully you're doing well, buddy, man. So take care, man. Football chat says, nah, Grealish is not what United need. And I'm not saying he's not. He's what is. I'm not saying he is. And certainly for the system as a wing, it probably won't be. Phillips at Leeds could have been England's. Yeah, he could have been. He could have been. He could have been. He did ruin him. You know, for just like Mourinho ruined Mikel. But it is what it is. Yeah, this whole pet ruining play is part of the reason why I think guys like Wirtz, Zubimendi, and others are rejecting City. I mean, there's an element of that. There was an element of that. There was an element of that. There was an element of truth to that. So as I remember Ruben's first seen on Sporting, saw 20 plus players need to do the same here. Yeah, I think they wanted to try and do a proper clear out and give Aaron his thing. And it's a major risk. It is. And so that's why he needs to at least deliver some significant improvement next season. And we need to do it now. Because the worry for me is that Manchester United's transfer dealings take a long time. So we need to do these things now so that these people can go on the preseason, so they can get all the investment, all the games, get familiar with the system, have his start, all the rest of it, and can go forward. That for me is what should happen. You know, we have to have that to happen. You know, we have to, because and like I said, you know, you could make a case you could sell most of the squad. Because frankly, and I'll talk about in my season review, 15th officially now with no trophy this season is terrible. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, if anything, I feel slightly better. I think if we were finished 17th, I'd have been like, this is a crap. But 15th, like, oh, okay, there's at least a few teams that are worse than you. I still think it's wild that Spurs finished 17th. And God, but they did it. They finished 17th. They got to the Champions League. I still think it's wild. The team that's playing the Champions League only got 38 points. I find that wild, but it is what it is. Cunha's a good signing. He's arguably Brazil's second best player at the moment behind Rafinha. Yeah, exactly. So, we will hopefully see what happens. Obviously, he's been signed. But yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, let me know in the chat as well. Actually, you know, what who should be the goalkeeping replacement for Onana? That's the question. Who should be the goalkeeping replacement for Onana? Because I don't know. Aaron was saying he wants a new goalkeeper, and I think that's fine. But who is it going to be? Who's it going to be? It's going to be. We're only 2 subs from 4,250. So guys, if you're watching, please subscribe to the channel. Bottom right hand corner. I'll obviously post a link in the description, but make sure that you subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Also, by the way, if anyone wants to be a mod, let me know. If you want to be a mod, just say in the chat. Let me know, because I need to get a few new mods, especially for the summer as we cover the transfer. So please let me know if you want to be a mod for the channel. Let me know. There we go. Put that here. Right. Okay. And also because I need that mod to moderate and also to promote the channel and also my Twitch channel as well, because I'm on Twitch as well. So yes, a mod for here, mod for there. Anyway, Esme says, don't. Wow, I mean, it is kind of funny how, you know, it's so funny when people say they want X amount of player or this player, and then suddenly that player does something the day after that's just banter. I mean, Emmy effectively cost. I know people are going to talk about, oh, you know, the VAR thing was bad and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, you're right. It was a bad decision by the referee, I think. But let's be real. It wasn't VAR Aston Villa can complain all they want to the PGA. Aston Villa didn't get to see a football because of Emi Martinez. Emi Martinez getting sent off is the reason why they didn't get it. 11 on 11, I think Villa probably get the dub done, or at least don't lose. But 10 on 11, even if they'd scored, I think that United would have probably equalized or something like that. I don't know. The clever shout was good one, very good young people. Yep, no, I agree. So that's cool. Right, I'm just gonna just double check. But yeah, let me know. So yeah, I've got a few good goalkeeping shouts. But yeah, I wouldn't get Emi Martinez. He seems to still be living off that World Cup hype, unfortunately. So that is something that is a little bit not ideal as far as Emirates. The main thing, obviously, is that Amram has gotten the support of the Manchester United board for now, anyway. And we will, we will see what happens, basically. Sorry, 1 second. What's going on here? There we go. That should be it. Yeah, Aston Villa game. Ten Hag is going to buy Leverkusen, so that's interesting. Xabi Alonso goes to Real Madrid, and Ten Hag goes to buy Leverkusen. So he's going to be coaching in the Champions League next season. It's going to be interesting because a lot of these ex-United managers have points to prove. They go to United, it doesn't work. They've got the points to prove, man. Jose didn't. Ollie sort of kind of didn't. Ragnick obviously did his thing with Austria, so we'll see what happens. And yeah, just to add to what Fabrizio said, David Ornstein did say that Ruben Amorim informs United squad he will be in charge next season and tells Garnacho to find a new club. Happened during meeting between Portuguese head coach and obviously players at Carrington training base today. I think that was, yeah. I actually think that was probably as a result of. I don't think he favored him, but I also think that what he did at the end of that match probably didn't help him. I don't think what he did at the end of the match helped him at all. But yeah, I agree with Gary Neville. It says that United need at least 6 players minimum. This has to be a proper squad overhaul. United need at least 6 players. They need a striker. Obviously, you've got your number 10 there, fine. I don't think we need centre backs. That's the only one area that I think United don't. I think you need a new goalkeeper. That's free. You probably need I say we need a new left wing back. We've got that guy Leon coming in, so maybe we don't need a new left wing back. You've got Dorgu and him on that side. Maybe you should get a new right wing back because Matswari is not that. He should be in the defense. So you sell Shaw. So defenders should be Maguire, De Ligt, Matswari, Heaven, and Euro. 5, and they can compete for the free. And those 5 can compete for the free spots. Shaw can go. Then the 4 wing backs, you've got Ahmad can play there, and I think we should get another right wing back to compete with Ahmad on that side. And then you've got Dorgu, and then you've got the other Leon kid coming, and then that side. And then you get a new striker, you get a new number 10. And then in the midfield, we probably need another midfielder, probably a ball-carrying midfielder as well. Is what I would say. We need a ball-carrying midfield in the midfield. The midfield, just having a midfield of Agate, Casemiro, and Mainu. Those are really, because Bruno, I know he's been dropping midfield. Don't do this dropping Bruno into the midfield again. Stop it. We're not doing that anymore. So you only have those 3 midfielders. And Collier, I guess, if you put him there, he could play. But we need to sign a proper ball playing creative midfielder, I think. Let's see. Wait, so Amram has liquidated a squad before. That's crazy. I never knew that. Well, there you go. He did it with Sporting. This is like some Pep Club type of shit where you get rid of 20 players. I think that's what's going to happen. It's the only way for it to happen, and you then have to hope that it works. If it doesn't work, we're in a mass where we could get relegated. If it does work, then United could finally be back. Garnacho to Chelsea, yeah. If they give us 60 mil, then yeah. Maguire seems to have a new life under Amorim. I actually think he's been one of. That's because he's playing a back three. I've always said when Maguire plays in the back three, he's always suited to play that. He did it at Leicester. He did it. He's done it for England, and he's done it here. When he plays in the back three, Maguire is pretty good. It's when he's not playing in the back three that's the problem. Delay and months were too slow from that. There was a case there. There was a case there. I think now that Amorim knows about how fast and how physical the Premier is, I think that's the reason why United obviously got so far in the Europa League, is because we were playing non-Premier League teams and they're not as physical. And then as soon as we played a Premier League team, we lost because we're not as physical, you know. You know, we'll see what happens. I also think as well that, you know, a lot of players are playing in the Club World Cup. They're going to have to play there. I mean, that for me it has to be Manchester United's advantage next season. Has to be Manchester United take advantage of that next season, because you know, you've got Chelsea, I think City. I don't think Liverpool are there, but a few other teams are going to be there at the Club World Cup. They're going to be tired because they're playing the Club World Cup in June, I think it is, for a good month or so, and then they'll be back in July, and they'll have to do their pre-seasons, etc. So we need to take advantage of the fact that there'll be players that will come back being tired, and we should be more refreshed and ready to go and hit the ground running. Honestly, I think it's just the midfield. The midfield's the issue. Bruno doesn't have the ball retention to be a midfield, and Casemiro isn't exactly. The midfield of Manchester United is not good. And I don't really know how you can't get Maine to fit in it. Like, you know, Ugarte is a good terrier and dog and can win the ball back, but he's not. His touch isn't great, and he doesn't hold onto the ball that well. You know, Pogba could. You know, if you had something like Ugarte and Pogba together in the midfield, then that's fine for me, you know, because Pogba could hold on to the ball and drive and go forward. That for me was his thing, you know, and then you can play that to Bruno, who's in the 10, and do whatever. That's fine. But I don't know, you know. And big up, bro, Brandon. Liverpool on there, as far as I'm aware. Liverpool on there. Liverpool on there. But Chelsea and City are, I think. United obviously on there and Arsenal on there. I do think it's weird that you have a Club World Cup and there's only 2 English teams. Unless I'm forgetting someone. But yeah, it's a bit weird. I don't know. I might do a video on it. The whole Club World Cup thing just seems incredibly dumb. And it's such an obvious FIFA cash grab that that I don't know what to say here. You know, you got teams competing from, you know, all around the world, and you know, like, why Inter Miami there? Like, come on, guys. Like, man, this is like, you know, but you got City, who this season aren't the champions and barely there, and Chelsea, who have not done anything relevant for 4 or 5 years. Like why are Chelsea there? Like, I don't understand. I really don't. Don't sell Mainu. If you sell him to a team like City, they would boss him in for a lot. Imagine Casado, Mainu. Yeah, we can't sell Mainu. We can't sell Mainu. I hope like hell. You know, we can't sell Mainu. You know, just don't do that. Okay. I know we got the squad, but I mean, at the same time, don't, you know, think to your rivals as well, man. Like, come on, guys, come on. Let's think about it for a second. But obviously, you know, a lot of it is going to be a mass, and this is what you know. You can see it in the thumbnail. The title thumbnail was mass player exodus. It is going to be a player exodus. I think this, you know, we're going to be doing a lot more player gone. Cunha, here we go. Yep, let's go. Let's go. I mean, Ben Jacobs, in fairness, Ben Jacobs did kind of already say it, but let's go. Let's do it. Here we go. Let's go to Fabrizio, man. There we go. Fabrizio. Let's go. Let's go. Cunha, here we go. No, there we go. I mean, it's the worst kept secret. Let's not keep it. But but Fabrizio has just confirmed it. Mateus Cunha to mention, here we go. Verbal agreements placed between all parties involved. Cunha, and this is obviously Ben Jacobs, basically, you know, has said this effectively. Cunha will sign deal until June 2030, with option until June 2031. Wolves to receive 62.1 million clause value in installments. Here we go for Mateus Cunha from Fabrizio Romano. So just so that everyone be aware, here we go from Fabrizio Romano and Mateus Cunha. I mean, like I said at the start, because Ben Jacobs did kind of report on this an hour ago. So Fabrizio's a little bit slow on this one, but we'll see. Manchester United is back. Of course, we're back. Of course, we're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. After this, we're back. That boy says you could let him go with a buyback or loan to a team that will let. Yeah, for me, yeah. If you're gonna sell Manu, you gotta put in a buyback clause. I put in a buyback clause in Garnacho, to be honest. But loan or buyback, don't sell Manu, man. Don't sell Manu. I don't. It's academy players, man. Come on, you got to keep Manu at least. You know, because I'm thinking now, how many academy players are going to even be in to start for United? I mean, yes, we bought Ahmad and we bought Heaven, but they're not really academy players per se, as the likes of Rashford, Garnacho. I mean, he did come from Leto Garnacho, but you know, and Manu are. You know, Manu. No, come on. We've got to keep Manu. I don't think. I think that. I mean, I don't know. I'll be honest. I would rather Bruno go before Manu, especially if we're saying that he's saying 120 million for the guy. I would definitely do. I would definitely do that. That's my thing. We can't, as HH says, be in a banter era. You know, United could not be. We're already in a decline era, but Manchester United can't be in a banter era where we're going to be finishing as a mid to bottom table club from now on. That can't happen. Not with the money that United bring in, generate, etc. Like it's just can't happen. So, but yeah, just for them who know, just for those who've tuned in, it's Cunha. Here we go. From Fabrizio Romano. He is finally a Manchester United player. He always was, always coming. You know, I'll be honest, he's a good. But you know, this has got to be the first of at least 6 signings for me. The next thing I want United to announce, well, they'll announce it. I guess they'll announce Delap. Is Delap enough to be United striker? I don't know. I think United need 2 strikers. I'll be honest about that. You know, I think United need 2 strikers. You know, sorry, 1 second. Sorry about that. But yeah, I think we need 2 strikers. We went from a time. I remember when Ollie was here, when you had like Ronaldo was a number 9, Cavani was number 9. Martial was obviously number 9 as well. Rashford could play there. Greenwood could play there. We went from having that amount of attacking talent to nothing, to Højlund and Xerxes, and that's it. Højlund and speaking of which, number 10, Xerxes still there. You know, we're talking about Bruno coming in, but what about Xerxes? For me, Xerxes is more of a 10 than he is a 9. So you play, you know, you could play Xerxes and Cunha together and not Bruno. You know, I think he should go personally. So, but anyway, yeah, for me, United need Delap should be the first. United need at least 2 strikers. Højlund for me, and obviously the reports that Højlund was gonna be sold. We'll see what happens. Because Højlund, he either needs to go on loan or Italy and we to sell him. I think he should go on loan, but the decline in Højlund this season has been bad. It's been bad. You could see the frustration in his face. He needed the goal, etc. But it's been, 15, 16 goals was good in the season, but the decline was just So you get 2 strikers in, you either sell him or on loan, because Højlund, yeah. Delap for me, United need to bring in at least 2 strikers. They've got the number 10. We need a progressive midfielder. We probably need another right wing back. And that's 5, and you need a goalkeeper. That's 6. That's the minimum in terms of signs I think United need to at least progress next season. Then you can make a case of saying, do you improve other areas? But those 6 signings for me, that's what United need. So Cunha play 9 on the left. I think he'll play he'll be played behind the 9. He'll be a number 10. He'll play behind the number 9, not be the number 9. I don't think Cunha is going to be the number. He shouldn't be, because he's not a number 9. Like United need to get a proper, whether that's Osherman or those Salazar or Victor Gyökeres, because Amorim wanted Gyökeres. And I think that obviously not getting CL football, 2 striker thing could be back, yeah. Not getting CL football was a major blow to that. Not getting CL football was a major blow to that. It was a major blow. So let's see what happens. Let us see what happens. But anyway, guys, we're going to round up here. We'll be back tomorrow Tuesday with our end of season review. Also, latest Manchester United news and transfer news as well. I think if Gyökeres is up to come to Manchester United, go out and get him if he is. But obviously, let's see what happens. But yeah, let's see what happens. I would like him in United, but I just think, how are you going to attract him to come to United when we're not playing in any European competition? Aside from that, he worked with Ruben Amorim. I think that Arsenal, Chelsea, because obviously Liverpool and City don't need him. Newcastle have got Isak, so they're not going to get a striker. So it'll really be Arsenal and Chelsea that will be going in for him. And they say, listen, we've got Champions League football. Why would you want to come to United? Unless it's for Amorim, Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, for new channel to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter. We are United smash notification. Thanks for all new subscribers joining. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Red Devil Studio. We will be back probably tomorrow with more breaking Manchester news. It's been a terrible season. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, have a nice day, guys, and cheers. Peace.